Good morning. It is Sunday, January 21st, and on this episode of Artistic Off-Road, we are headed to the El Paso Mountains of Southern California to look for an ancient Native American village site. So come along for the ride. The site that we are headed to today was not easy to find. In fact, there is very little information online of its whereabouts. But after several hours sleuthing the internet and a little luck, I had good confidence that we'd be able to track it down. So after about an hour and a half of pavement driving, we are now on our first dirt road. We're gonna go ahead and air down and head over this ridge over here. The road is looking pretty good. A little sandy, a little rocky here and there, but better than expected. And we are headed straight out into those mountains there. The El Paso Mountain Wilderness is considered a sacred site and contains one of the highest concentrations of Aboriginal or prehistoric culture in Southern California. Humans have inhabited these lands dating back to the beginning of the Holocene epoch, or about 10,000 years ago, evidence of which is still present today in the form of stone tools, petroglyphs, and other subtle signs written into the landscape. The road is looking a little bit rocky, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Jeep into four-wheel drive. So our GPS internet access has vanished, and we definitely took a wrong turn, so we're turning around, heading back down this wash here, which is a little bit bumpy, and looking for the correct road. So we're about a half mile from the car, and we are gonna approach that hill there where I think there are some petroglyphs, but we've already found a lot of interesting signs of habitation in this area. All these rocks here are chippings that would have been used to make stone tools. Really sharp chert and jasper that might have been used for bead making. Just really cool finds scattered on the ground. Of course, we're gonna leave these here scattered for other people to find them as well. Enjoy the experience of discovery. So after a little bit of wandering around on this hillside up here, we were up there, I think that was a hunting blind, and naturally along with hunting comes the prey. And here we have our first examples of Coso style bighorn sheep on this rock right here. Quite a large specimen, if I do say so myself. And they surround the entirety of the rock. You'll notice that this sheep not only has the horns, it also has ears here. And that's one of the distinguishing features, along with the filled in boat-shaped body. We're gonna take a look at this rock and see what else is on here. This is a really cool find, very exciting. So my guess is that the people who were living out here were up on this hill, and they would hang out amongst these rocks up here, waiting for the bighorn sheep. Maybe they would come down from the tops of those ridges up there, seeking water in this ravine, down, 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 all the way down, and then when they got close enough, the hunters would attack, and they probably celebrated their successes with the effigy written on stone. That's my guess. Could be wrong, but what is it if it's not about imagination? Let's go check out and see if we can find some more. So it also looks like there is a human anthropomorph. You can see the head here, the arms, has fingers there or something like that, and the body. This right here may be a dog, a coyote, could be maybe another bighorn sheep, a little bit hard to tell, or maybe even some kind of mountain lion. My guess though is this guy right here is the hunter who slaughtered this bighorn sheep somewhere out here hundreds of years ago. So you have another bighorn sheep here on this side of the rock, and a really interesting feature that you don't see very often, what looks like a foot. Very cool. So I want to show you guys another cool find in the same area. Another rock with some more petroglyphs on them. These almost look like oyster shells, or maybe they represent basketry. The other cool thing on this rock is up here, you can see this section here was used as some kind of a grinding stone. You'll notice that the surface here is completely worn away. So one thing I've read about sites like this is that after someone died, their tools would have been broken. And so here you have some examples of pestles that would have been used on a grinding stone like this. And you'll notice they are broken in half, and there's probably another half of them or piece somewhere else, but pretty cool. You can see how they've been worn down on the edges there. I was just thinking what a crazy place this would have been to live. Check out this view way off in the distance. Over there is the Panamint Range, I believe, and that direction I think is the Sierras, or maybe those are the Inos. So this rock here, you'll notice, has a couple of very beginner level morteros that someone would have used something like this to grind pine nuts or other seeds, grass seeds probably, considering that this place is just absolutely full of rice grass. So we're just a little ways down the hill here, and we're in a food preparation area. You can see this rock here that's been slicked by the grinding of a stone on there, probably to grind seeds or something like that. So I want to show you guys another really fascinating find. You have another grinding stone here. You can see how smooth this rock is, and you can see here where someone would have, used their pestle to create this mortar, essentially, right, for whatever food preparation. But for some reason, this thing has been broken in half. So here's a really interesting example of a handheld mono. Here's a grinding rock. You can see this part of the rock was the part that was used to grind down seeds and other things. And it was just sitting here, buried in the ground, just on the surface. Really kind of fascinating to imagine someone using this hundreds or thousands of years ago. So just when we thought we had found the last petroglyph in this area, we realized we're not done. Check this out. You can see over here, there are more bighorn sheep symbols, petroglyphs on this rock. So I really get the sense that this site here is a commemoration of the kills that were made. You can imagine bighorn sheep back, hundreds of years ago when this wash here had water in it. The bighorn sheep coming down out of these mountains, coming to take a drink of water from the wash, and the hunters waiting here behind the rocks, attacking, and then feasting on their meaty delight, and then commemorating that feast and that kill and the spirit of the animal with these petroglyphs. You can tell in this site that some of these petroglyphs are much older than others. For example, the patina on whatever petroglyph this was is starting to re-emerge. These ones are still pretty clear. This part is a grinding slick here that looks like it's combined with some other petroglyphs. So this place is just absolutely full of ancient artifacts, from stone tool chippings to petroglyphs to morteros, and it's just fascinating to walk around a place like this and imagine what it must have been like for the people who lived here hundreds or thousands of years ago. It's anyone's guess, but it's fun to think about the stories and what all of the evidence can teach us. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Artistic Off-Road. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.